My beloved children, today I invite you to pause amidst the busyness of life and listen to a profound reminder, a call to sharing. This is not merely an act, but a living expression of the love I have sown in your hearts. You were not created to live in isolation, but to be united. I have blessed you not only to keep those blessings for yourselves, but also to be a source of life for others. Every breath, every new day, and every opportunity you receive is a gift from me. And I give to you not only so you may live abundantly, but also so you may become my extended hands, bringing comfort and hope to the world. Look around you. How many souls are longing to be comforted? How many hearts are weighed down by sorrow? And how many are standing in darkness, waiting for a ray of light? I have placed you in this world to be a guiding light, to breathe life into weary souls, and to lift up those who have fallen. Sharing is not merely a physical act. It is an attitude of the heart, a way of living that reflects my light. It is not measured by wealth or status, but by generosity and a willingness to give. I do not call you to do this out of reluctance or fear. I invite you to step into the joy of sharing, a joy that cannot be taken away, a joy that runs deep from knowing you are fulfilling my purpose. Remember my words, it is more blessed to give than to receive. This is not an empty promise, but a truth of my kingdom. When you give, you will receive abundantly. When you sow seeds of kindness, I will cause them to grow into a plentiful harvest. But my dear children, I am not speaking only of material things. I am speaking of sharing your time, compassion, forgiveness, and encouragement. A timely word of encouragement can change a person's life. A sincere smile can dissolve sorrow. And a small act of love can have an impact far beyond what you can imagine. Have you ever felt the pain of loneliness? Have you ever longed for someone to understand you? If you have, then you know what others are waiting for from you. Do not wait until you have more to give, for I do not measure what you possess, but the willingness of your heart. Think of sharing as a response to the love I have given you. I gave everything so that you might have life, and now I'm calling you to give that life to others. Starting today, I invite you to place this question in your heart. What can I share to glorify God and help others? Do not hesitate. Walk in my light and let me guide you on the path of sharing. For when you open your heart, I will make a way. When you give, I will work miracles. And when you live in love, you will see my kingdom revealed in the world. My beloved children, I have created you to live in connection. From the very beginning, I saw that man should not be alone. I placed within your hearts a sacred need to be loved and to give love. This is not a weakness, but a mark of my image within you. Sharing is not merely an option. It is a command, a divine calling that I have engraved upon your souls. I did not create you to live selfishly or in isolation. I created you to be channels of love, carrying my kindness into this world. Look at my own life when I walked upon this earth. I healed the sick, comforted the lonely, and shared bread with the hungry. I did not come to store up treasures for myself, but to give all that I had. And I call you to follow that example. My children, remember that sharing is not an optional choice. It is an act of obedience. When you listen to my voice and act according to my will, you will experience overflowing blessings in your life. I have said, love your neighbor as yourself. That love cannot remain in words alone, but must be shown through actions. You cannot claim to love me while closing your heart to the pain of your brothers and sisters. True love is always accompanied by sharing. I do not ask you to give what you do not have, but I do call you to use what I have given to honor me. If you have food, share it with the hungry. If you have time, spend it with the lonely. If you have words of encouragement, uplift those who are in despair. You often think that to share, you must first have material abundance. But I tell you that sharing begins with the heart. A smile, a prayer, a look of compassion, these are as precious as silver and gold. When I saw the poor widow offer 2 small coins, I said that she had given more than all others. For I do not measure by quantity, but by sincerity. My children, never think that you are too small to make a difference. I used a boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish to feed thousands. I can multiply anything you offer to me. All I need is a willing heart. My beloved children, do you know that sharing not only blesses the receiver, but also heals the giver? When you open your heart to give, I open the windows of heaven to pour peace and joy into your lives. Selfishness causes your soul to wither, but sharing makes your soul fertile and full of life. It frees you from the fear of loss and leads you to freedom in me. Consider a river. If its waters stop flowing, it becomes stagnant and polluted. But if the waters continue to flow, they remain fresh and clean. So it is with your soul. When you hold everything for yourself, you become dry and lifeless. But when you share, you are renewed and continue to receive blessings. When you share, you are demonstrating faith in me. You are trusting that I am the provider and will not let you be in need. I promise that when you sow, you will reap. When you give, I will fill you again. Remember the story of the widow in Zarephath. She had only a handful of flour and a little oil, yet she trusted my word through the prophet Elijah and shared her last meal. And I performed a miracle so that her flour and oil never ran out. I tell you today that I am still the God of miracles. I am still the one who nourishes, protects, and provides for you. Do not be afraid of losing what you give away, for I am the keeper of all that you entrust to me. My beloved children, true love is not just a feeling. It is action. It is giving. And sharing is the clearest mark of love. When you live with a spirit of generosity, you are proclaiming my love without words. You are testifying about me in this world through your actions. Remember that every act of sharing, no matter how small, is never forgotten in my sight. I see it all, and I promise to reward you in my time. My children, be ready to answer this call. Live a life of sharing, for this is my will for you. My beloved children, pause and reflect on the world you are living in. Do you see the hands raised in desperation, the tear-filled eyes mourning loss, and the hearts hardened by loneliness? This is the world I have sent you into, a world longing for love and sharing. Sharing is not merely an act of giving. It is a force that can change destinies, restore hope, and revive what has been lost. When you open your hearts to share, you do more than impact the lives of others. You create ripples of transformation that spread far and wide. I have created you with a need for connection. You were not born to walk alone, but to hold hands and face challenges together. Yet this world has built walls of selfishness, fear, and misunderstanding. Sharing is the hammer that breaks down those walls. When you offer a smile, a hug, or a word of encouragement, you shatter isolation. You build bridges that connect hearts. And in doing so, you restore the order I established from the very beginning, an order built on love and unity. Remember, every small act of sharing has the power to bring change. You do not need to perform great deeds to influence the world. A shared meal with the hungry, a phone call to check on the lonely, or a simple gesture of kindness can plant seeds of hope and faith. In this turbulent world, many have lost hope. They are overwhelmed by fear of tomorrow and weighed down by the losses of today. But I call you to be bearers of hope. When you share, you are not merely meeting a physical or emotional need. You are delivering a message that I am working through you. You are reminding the world that I never forget those who suffer. Let your light shine in the darkness. Let your actions speak to the hopeless, assuring them that they are not abandoned. When you live with a spirit of generosity, you become a living testimony of my love and kindness. As you give, you too are transformed. Your hearts are enlarged. Greed and selfishness are defeated. You become more like me, a God who gives unconditionally. Sharing not only changes the recipient, but also transforms the giver. It frees you from the fear of scarcity and teaches you to trust in my provision. It makes you my instrument, turning you into a light in this world. My children, I have said that when you sow, you will reap. Every act of sharing is a seed planted in my kingdom. And I promise that you will see its fruit, whether in this life or in eternity. My children, sharing knows no boundaries of wealth, race, or culture. It is the universal language of humanity, the expression of the love I have placed in every human heart. When you share, you tear down barriers and erase differences. You show the world that my love is for everyone. I call you to step out of your comfort zones. Reach out to those you have never met, to those you may feel unprepared to help. I will make a way and perform miracles when you walk in faith and compassion. Sharing does not produce only immediate results. It leaves a lasting impact on the lives of others and on your own. The acts of generosity you perform today can create ripples that reach across generations. Imagine a hungry child you helped today growing up to become a leader who transforms their community. Picture a broken soul you comfort, rising up to support and heal others. You may never fully see the effects of your actions, but I do. And I will use each one to expand my kingdom. My beloved children, I urge you not to wait for grand opportunities to share. Start today with what you have. Never underestimate the power of a small act, for in my hands it can become a miracle. I have placed within you the ability to change the world through sharing. Let my love flow through you and bring renewal to everything you touch. Lift your eyes to me and learn from my life. I came into this world not to receive but to give. I shared my life, poured out my mercy, and bore the sins of humanity. I left you an example of sharing, a complete sacrifice born out of unconditional love. Look to the cross. It is the clearest evidence of selflessness. I accepted suffering, shed my blood, and redeemed humanity. I gave my very life, not because I was in need, but because you needed salvation. My sacrifice did not flow from abundance or imposed strength, but from the depths of love and mercy. This is the first lesson I teach you. True sharing does not depend on how much you possess, but on the depth of love you have for others. My children, you are not called to die for the world, but you are called to live a life of giving, offering hope to the hopeless, forgiveness to the fallen, and faith to the lost. My beloved children, do you remember the story of the 5 loaves and 2 fish? A young boy offered what little he had, and I performed a miracle, turning it into a meal that fed 5,000 people. I do not ask you to have much. I only ask you to be willing. A simple act, rooted in faith, can produce results far beyond what you expect. Trust that I am always present and at work when you give. You may not see the miracle immediately, but I am moving through every act of kindness you offer. Sharing is not limited to material possessions or time. Sometimes forgiveness is the most precious gift you can give. When you forgive those who have hurt you, you not only free them, but also release yourself from the chains of resentment. In doing so, you reflect the love I have shown you, a love that forgives unconditionally. Remember, I forgave you before you repented. I cleansed you of your sins, even when you were undeserving. Let that love inspire you to forgive and bring healing to broken relationships. My beloved children, I see the pain that many are carrying. There are those who do not need bread or clothing, but they are starving for encouragement and hope. Use your words as tools for sharing. Speak words that build up, inspire, and strengthen. Remind others that they are loved and that I will never abandon them. A positive word can awaken faith in weary hearts. It can become a guiding light for those who have lost their way. Never underestimate the power of words when they are spoken with love and sincerity. I do not call you to share occasionally. I call you to make sharing a way of life. Do not give only when you have more than enough. Give even when you feel you do not have enough, for I will replenish you. Wake up each day with this question: what can I give today? Let sharing become the heartbeat of your life, the breath in every moment. Learning to share is learning to live in my image. When you share, you reflect my nature, a God who loves and gives unconditionally. I remind you that everything you have comes from me, and I have given to you not to be kept, but to be multiplied. Do not be afraid of losing, for when you give with sincerity, I will fill you again with peace, joy, and blessings beyond measure. My beloved children, I want you to know that true joy is not found in storing up or possessing, but in giving. Genuine joy does not come from what you hold on to, but from what you release and share. When you give, you not only meet the needs of others, but also fill your own soul with a joy that the world cannot provide. This is a deep and lasting joy, a joy born from fulfilling my purpose and reflecting my image. Many are bound by fear of loss. They gather, accumulate, and cling to possessions they believe will bring security. But I tell you that security is not found in what you own. It is found in your faith in me. When you dare to give, you will experience freedom. You will no longer be controlled by fear or greed. Instead, you will walk in the trust that I am the provider. Sharing frees you from selfishness and opens the door to the joy I have promised. It transforms your soul, leaving you light, peaceful, and filled with hope. When you share, You build connections with others. You break down isolation and create new relationships. Think back to the last time you gave a gift or helped someone in need. Do you remember the warmth you felt when you saw their smile? Did you sense a deeper bond when their eyes lit up, knowing they were not forgotten? I tell you that those moments are eternal treasures. They are evidence that you have touched another soul with my love. And through those connections, you too are renewed. I have placed a principle in this world. When you sow, you will reap. When you give, I will multiply what you have. I will never let those who give be left in need. You cannot outgive what I am able to pour back into your life. Trust that I am faithful and always keep my promises. When you share, you are not only doing something good, but also living out the purpose for which I created you. You are walking in obedience and alignment with my will. Sharing is an act that demonstrates faith, faith that I will take care of you. It is a declaration that you are not bound by fear or greed, but are led by trust and love. My beloved children, know that no act of sharing is too small in my eyes. Every gesture of kindness, every word of encouragement, and every gift given is a seed of joy that will sprout and bear fruit. When you share, you reflect me. You show the world that my love is real and that my light is shining through you. Let your joy be a testimony to the world. Let your acts of generosity glorify my name and help others recognize my love through your life. I call you to live a life filled with joy. Do not seek fulfillment in wealth or status. Seek joy in sharing, for it is there that you will find the abundant life I have promised. My beloved children, I have called you to hear this reminder of your sacred mission, the mission of sharing. I have placed within your hearts the capacity to love, to show compassion, and to live selflessly. These qualities are not accidental, but are my mark upon your lives. Remember that sharing is not merely an outward action, but an expression of a soul transformed by my love. When you give, you do more than meet the needs of others. You reflect my light to the world. You are opening the door for miracles to unfold, miracles of restoration, connection, and true joy. I call you to begin today. Look around you and act with kindness. Do not hesitate or fear, for I am the provider. Walk in faith and let my love flow through you, transforming the world through your generosity. Amen.